Welcome back to Who is That Saint? Today we meet Saint Mark. Yes, that Mark. As in the Gospel according to Mark. But don't let the Bible title fool you. This isn't some shadowy scribe in a candlelit corner. Mark was a missionary, a gospel author, a church founder, and, in the end, a martyr. Born in Jerusalem, Mark was probably a young man during Jesus' ministry. Some scholars think he might have even been the young man who fled naked when Jesus was arrested in Gethsemane. That's not confirmed, but it's a fun Bible trivia tidbit. You're welcome. What we do know is this. Mark was a disciple of St. Peter. In fact, St. Peter refers to him as my son in one of his letters, likely a spiritual father-son bond. Mark traveled with Paul and Barnabas on their first missionary journey, though he famously bailed early, which caused a rift between Paul and Barnabas later. Oops. But Mark didn't fade into obscurity. Instead, he wrote the first gospel, the Gospel of Mark. And let's be clear, this gospel hits different. It's fast-paced, short, packed with action. No nativity scene, no long-winded sermons, just a divine highlight reel of Jesus healing, casting out demons, flipping tables, walking on water, and heading straight to the cross. Mark's style? Urgent. Immediate. He uses the word immediately over 40 times. You can practically hear the adrenaline. According to tradition, Mark founded the church in Alexandria, Egypt, making him the first bishop of Africa. Let that sink in. This man didn't just write the gospel, he brought Christianity to an entire continent. But in Alexandria, the pagan priests weren't thrilled. His preaching pulled too many people away from idol worship. On Easter Sunday around 68 AD, a mob dragged him through the streets by a rope tied around his neck. He died a martyr. Today, Saint Mark is symbolized by a lion, roaring with courage and gospel truth. That's the icon you'll see in art, the winged lion of Saint Mark. When his relics, they were brought to Venice, where Saint Mark became the city's patron. That's why Venice's famous cathedral is Saint Mark's Basilica. Saint Mark didn't have a smooth journey. He stumbled. He quit. He doubted. But he came back, wrote scripture, and died a martyr. God doesn't use perfect people. He uses the faithful. Quote of the day. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. Mark 16 verse 15.